As Alex leaves, you are not quite sure what to do with yourself. Standing in the middle of the room leaves you feeling kind of exposed, and you don't feel ballsy enough to randomly approach any of the group's people clustered together talking. You head to a clear spot on the back wall and lean against it. For some reason, this always feels a lot more secure. You can scan the party for a familiar face or any sign of your partner. Oh, you scan the party. You come up with nothing. Not sure what else to do, and worrying that you must look creepy just standing there watching everyone, you take out your phone and busies. 20 semi-tedious games of Bejeweled bits later, your partner returns. You spend the rest of the night with Alex, occasionally being introduced to people and nodding along with group conversations, even if you don't participate much. At the end of the night, as you're falling asleep with your girlfriend in the crook of your arm, she thanks you again for coming. Half drunk, she confides that she thought you were going to flake out, and was pleasantly surprised that you managed to come out. She says it lovingly, but you're not quite sure how you feel about the statement. Thank you for reminding me at the end that I'm depressed from not seeing a therapist or taking medication. That's great. So that was a good decision. I agree. Like standing in the middle of a room where it's like a bunch of people is like, for me, not because I have anything to do with related to depression or anxiety or anything. It's just that I'm an introvert, so it's like, okay, there's people everywhere. No thanks. So yeah, I get that, having like one wall and watching people's fun. Also, Bejeweled bitch. I'm pretty sure I just said Bejeweled bitch. That's not what I meant. Bejeweled Blitz is a fun game. What is that? It's a little afternoon on a muggy Saturday. Your mother has come over for a surprise visit, claiming loudly that she doesn't see you enough, so she decided to find herself over. As you converse, she walks around your place, and you get the distinct impression that you're being inspected. So what's going on with you lately? She asks abruptly. Taken somewhat aback by this left fielder, you tell her you're not sure what she means. She repeats the question, saying that you haven't seemed like yourself lately. She gestures to the dirty dishes piled in the sink and notes the fact that you haven't called or visited in a while. Your reticence? I'm not sure of that. This is good because there are words I don't know. Only seems to spur her on more. She presses you, asking if you're having problems with Alex. And you're beginning to feel increasingly battered by her sudden, well-meaning but overwhelming imposition. Okay. Alright, I probably feel overwhelmed in this situation too, but like, okay, no thanks. But my mom's not like that, so thank God. Under her questions, you become increasingly uncomfortable. I got past that sentence. You want to be able to explain to her how you've been feeling, but the truth is you're not really sure yourself. Nothing horrific has happened at work, or with your significant other or friends or anything like that. But all the same, you can't deny that lately you've just felt drained and as though you're not really here. You wish you could tell your mother these things, but she hasn't been approachable about negative emotions in the past. She is the kind of person who holds the opinion that the solution to any problem is to simply try harder and maintain a positive attitude, a stance that has reared its head in the past conversations when you begin to explore the subject with her. You know she's unlikely to be understanding, and you feel the energy drain out of you if you imagine what would happen if you managed to pour down everything you feel. What do you do? Let her know that you've been feeling down lately and appreciate her concern. Be honest with her anyway. Tell everything will be fine. Thanks for asking to change the subject. Well, we're gonna try to be honest anyway. Like, it's true, everything is fine, you know, if you think of the normal things, but you are not fine. Everything else is fine. don't change the subject because that's just kind of rude. I'm gonna try to be honest because I think that's the right thing to do. You attempt to tell your mother how you're feeling, despite initial misgivings that you have about doing so. Finding the right words for how you're feeling is like trying to untangle Christmas lights, searching for the dead bulb in the cluttered mess. She watches you intently and audibly sighs before you can clearly articulate anything. Unfortunately, she reacts predictably. Well, your mom's a bitch. I'm sorry. That's awful. Parents, listen to your kids. When they tell you feel like shit. Because it's more than just not a bad attitude. An attitude like that won't get you anywhere. You need to work harder at getting what you want instead of sitting around feeling sad about it. Nothing good will happen unless you make it happen. I hate people like that. She isn't angry or spiteful as she tells you this. You try to explain that it's not a matter of that, but you can tell that you're not getting anywhere. The frustration chokes the words in your throat, and you give up on trying to push the subject further. You know she's giving you advice that makes sense to her, and genuinely wants the best for you. However, she doesn't understand that it's not as simple as somehow deciding to be positive or work harder. It's that those things aren't viable options because of these feelings. You accept defeat, and the conversation drifts on to other subjects. She leaves you after chiding you to call her more and take better care of herself. You sigh heavily and as you close the door behind her and spend a few hours laying in bed staring at the ceiling. It's unfortunate. I don't know. As someone who believes she's a pretty good listener, like, it makes me sad when other people can't listen. It's a lazy Sunday morning. I don't get what these pictures are. Is that cat's eye like upside down? You're ideally clicking online when your phone rings. Sam, a coworker of yours that you're friendly with, asks you how you are and makes hurried small talk with you. You typically only ever talk to him on the phone when one of you needs a shift covered, so it's slightly awkward. You are waiting in anticipation for him to ask you to come in short notice when he veers the conversation in a completely different direction. How do you feel about cats, he asked. Mine had kittens a few weeks ago and I'm having an awfully hard time finding a home for the last one over there. You don't have any pets, right? Oh, we're totally adopting this cat. There's no way we're not taking it. If you don't take this cat, I would be mad. I love cats. It takes you a moment to process this new information, and you're caught off guard as he begins to earnestly try to sell you on the idea of taking the last kitten off his hands. It's not something you had specifically considered before, and he seems fairly insistent. She's a real sweetheart. She loves people. She's got all her shots already taken care of, and the vet said she's healthy as a horse. I can bring her over to your place tonight if you're interested. Look around your apartment and try to picture a cat in it, as he continues to tell you about how cute she is. You tell him that this is all kind of sudden, and that you don't have anything for the kitten set up here. Oh, don't worry about that. I can bring you over a litter box and food and all, since you'd really be helping me out with a fix. It's the least I can do. I just don't want to have to put her in a shelter. Okay, well, I'm sorry, I just read the next sentence before. You can't help but feeling like you're being guilt-tripped, but you decide to give it some serious consideration. I don't know, I don't feel guilt-tripped about this particular idea. Coworkers like, hey, you cats, I need to get rid of them. I don't want to put her in a shelter, so, would you consider it? It's no. It does get awful lonely in your apartment. It might feel less empty with a cat around. However, since you've been feeling so down, it might not be a good idea to take on the responsibility of a cat, even if they are feeling low maintenance. Okay, all you have to do with the cat is clean its litter box and change its water occasionally and add food to its bowl. cat will take care of itself. It will love you, though. Take the cat knowing full well you can take great care of it. Decline even though you're totally capable of taking care of it. You're not much of a cat. Become a cat. Decline you don't like cats. That's... No, you're not allowed not to like cats. Decline you're not in a good place to be taking on responsibility. No, you should become a cat owner. I think the companionship would be good. And I think I've heard before that in depression animals can really help, like, with the recovery process, even though you're not recovering yet because you haven't accepted that you have this mental illness, but cats are cool. You can't not take the cat because it's me. It's so cute. I love cats too, but you accept the offer of the kitten and hang up shortly after making arrangements for when your coworker can drop her off tonight. After hanging up, you worry that you've suddenly taken on a responsibility that you can't handle, and hope you don't make a small animal suffer for it. You're not entirely sure what to expect, but you spend the rest of the afternoon researching cat care online and trying to think of a name. The evening rolls around, you hear a knock on the door, startling you out of reading Wikipedia entirely too hard. You take possession of a small, terrified black and white kitten in a carrier, along with everything you need to start taking care of her. You take her into your bedroom, close the door, and open the door to the carrier excitedly. She cowers in the back of it, and you back off. Feeling slightly defeated, you remember what your research on introducing a kitten to a new home, and leave her alone to go mess around on your computer, hopefully checking over your shoulder every so often to see if she's come out yet. She hides inside her carrier, periodically making sorrowful cat howls long enough for you to start worrying that she already doesn't like you. But by the time you go to bed, she's curled up at the foot of it, eyeing you nervously before falling asleep. Over the next few days, you gain her trust, and she begins to affectionately fall around, sleeping with you and hopping up on you every time you sit down to do some work. Cat was successful. Would you not take the cat? Would you not? It's so worth it. Once you get past the stage of the cat's afraid of the new place. Yeah. Oh wow, whole week's passed. Pizza. It's a late Friday afternoon and quitting time is just around the corner. A bright clear day is giving way to a still, temperate evening. You can hear your coworkers all around you anxiously making plans for their evenings and weekends. But you're really looking forward to just going home and resting after what turned out to be a long and taxing work week. Just before the end of your shift, you get a call from Alex. It seems a group of your mutual friends are heading off to a nearby pub for dinner and drinks to celebrate the end of the week, and they want to know if you'd like to come along. You tentatively tell her that you're emotionally exhausted from the work week, and that a social outing would just take too much out of your day. You encourage her to go and have a good time, since you know it's been a while since she's gone out with friends, but the effort feels futile since you know that she isn't going to go without you. A couple of hours later, the two of you find yourselves in a familiar position. On the couch watching comedy shows on Netflix, a box of pizza open on the coffee table in front of you. As you look across the couch at her, you start to feel anxious. You feel bad about effectively forcing the two of you to stay in tonight again. Well, you are always appreciative of your partner's efforts to take your feelings into account and help make sure you're socially comfortable. You sincerely worry that you're holding her back from enjoying a more fulfilling relationship. While she does seem to enjoy spending time with you, as the two of you sit in comfortable, almost contented silence watching old shows you've each seen 2 or 3 times before, your ever-increasing fear that your relationship is becoming one-sided weighs more and more heavily on you. You feel more than ever like a burden or a ward to her, and it's virtually impossible for you to see what value you could possibly offer her in return. Worst of all, this nagging fear has made you more self-conscious than ever, withdrawing ever inwards, and you started to pull away from Alex herself. What do? Despite At times, your girlfriend sincerely loves you. Relationships are a two-way street, and you resolve to always be there for her when she's in it. To all how important she is to you and enjoy the evening. Yeah. Yeah, you should ask her if she's happy in their relationship. I want to know what her response is. Because if you don't say anything, like, it's just gonna keep nagging her. You gotta know. Look over at Alex who hasn't noticed you watching her yet. And you try to parse the expression on her face. You worry that's one of sheer boredom and bare tolerance. You wonder if she's thinking about all the fun things she could have been doing tonight if she wasn't trapped on the couch with you. Ordering from one of the same 3 takeout places you always order from. A sense of disappointing her creeps over you, and you picture what the night would have been if you'd accepted the invitation she had made earlier. I know this is a pretty boring Friday night for you. Are you really happy being with me, being like this? She turns to look at you, your forehead wrinkled. Why do you ask me that so often? You feel her body stiffen and pull away from you just a little. Well, I mean, you start, but you aren't able to leave the yet. It's probably silly, but it's reassuring to hear that we're on the same page. I'm not sure I'm right for you. I know it's not what you'd usually be up to. I don't know, I guess I get kind of worried that you're getting bored sometimes. Never mind. You're worried, be honest. You're worried that you're just getting bored. Alex sighs. Look, if were in the case, I would let you know. I don't think that you're boring. I think you're more of a homebody than I am. I'm learning how to deal with that. Deal with it, you think? Repeating it in your mind? Just to see you as a problem to be dealt with? You try to pick her reply apart in your mind, and all of your conclusions have led to your previous worry. You're holding her back. You begin thinking about the phrasing was chosen without too much deliberation, and despite her attempts at reassuring you, this one slip of the tongue revealed her true feelings. Oh my god. I know it's like that, but it's so frustrating. It's like, no, everybody's got struggles. I know when you have depression that it's hard. It is like this. As you picture how much fun she'd be having tonight if you had only accepted her invitation and managed to somehow get out your reservations and anxieties, despite not knowing how you would go about that, she cuddles back up to you. Thanks for putting up with me, you say, staring at the TV without actually watching it. She sighs in response. And she snuggles back up to you. I think she likes you. Ooh. Coffee. It is a breezy Sunday afternoon. You've allowed Amanda, an old friend from school that is in town for the weekend, to talk you into leaving the house for a cup of coffee and ketchup. You meet her in a small cafe and talk about what you've been up to since you last seen each other. And you can't help but feel like they are a lot more accomplished and interesting than you are, while you're listening to them talk about their life after school. When it's your turn to brief them on your activities, you feel anxious and ashamed, and give a very abbreviated version. You try to talk about your job as little as possible, and you feel incredibly boring while you describe it, despite her expressing sincere interest in you and your life. Amanda has known you long enough to read your mood and tone of voice. She leans in to ask a question while gently touching your hand with a genuine look of concern on her face. What's wrong? Suggest a change of location and confide in her honestly, tips the partners and open up to her. Damn it, those are the ones I want to do. Insisting nothing is wrong and changing the subject is not going to help you, ma'am. defensively ask her what she means by that. That's not good. So notice your hands are shaking? Oh, my god, it's better than the other two. This is too confrontational, being defensive like that, and just changing the subject. It's not gonna help you. It's such a small question, but it feels like a blow to the gut. You surprise yourself when you realize that your tightly clenched fists are now beginning to are beginning to shake slightly. Despite your best efforts, you feel tears begin to sting at your eyes. You try to disguise by tilting your head up and praying that will suck back in. She suggests that you two of you get out of there, and you feel mortified. She offers to go back to your apartment with you, but the two of you end up talking in her car for 2 hours, as the words just pour forth from you. Amanda seems unsure of what to say sometimes, but she listens and rubs your back as you sob and talk. She asks if you've seen a doctor about this, and you admit you haven't. She mentions that her mother is seeing a very good therapist in town, and offers to ask her about it. You're not thrilled of the idea of going to a therapist, and even less thrilled that Amanda might be telling someone about your problems, but she persists and tells you that she'll email you the doctor's contact information next week. This is good. I picked the right choice.